What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well today. We are here with Mr. Adam Taylor. He is the co-founder of Media Engineered. He's been working with us for the last few months. And I don't want to spoil the surprise, but literally 6 minutes ago, before we got on this call, Adam messaged me and just closed his third 27K deal in the last 2 weeks. So that's really cool. A little bit of odd timing there, but that's amazing. Congratulations, Adam. How are you doing? Good to have you
Appreciate it.
here.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Excited to be on here. Yeah, a lot of the successes came from what you've taught me. So yeah, I'm more than happy to be on here,
Awesome.
spread the word, and yeah, in a good
Amazing.
place.
Amazing. Only getting better. So first off, tell us a little bit about your agency. What do you do? I said the name, but give me a little bit of background. Describe your agency and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the founder at Media Engineered. We're an ad creative agency that helps brands on Meta. Usually they're struggling with finding the right messaging, finding what formats work for them. So that's what we focus on, making ad creatives, helping brands grow. Founded with my brother, which is great as well. So he's mainly service delivery side of things. I focus on sales and marketing. And obviously we both kind of intertwine a little bit, but that's the main overview, working with brands on Meta, getting them ad creatives.
Nice. Makes sense. Good space to be in. I would say so myself. That's my background as well. So, I have a little bit of fondness in my heart for that type of stuff. So, I want to start here at the beginning of the conversation because everybody wants to know, like, this is the hooks, how we hook people in, right? The before and after. So, what was your revenue before working with us, and what did you just do August, which was 4 days ago?
Yeah, so we joined you. I think we came to the mastermind or the workshop in May.
Yeah,
So
May
joined you in
workshop.
May. We were at 56K US dollars, and August we did 105K US dollars.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah,
Congratulations. That's doubling up in what, about 90 days? Not too bad coming
yeah,
straight
yeah.
from workshop to this.
Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah, awesome, and it's honestly like it's a lot to do with what you've taught us through the workshop and after as well. So yeah, we can dig into that as well. But it's been
Yeah.
yeah super quick growth, but it feels kind of natural at the same time.
Yeah. What do you mean by that? It's quick, but it feels natural.
Yeah, it just feels like we didn't just kind of jump to that in it wasn't like a 30-day thing. It was over the 90-day period, and it was based on things we'd done. So it wasn't kind of luck, so to speak. It was based on
Sure.
changes we'd made to the agency, to the process, to what we were selling. So it kind of made sense we were going to reach that anyway. And me, we're putting the work in as well. So it was, yeah, kind of
Yeah,
natural.
definitely. And so what I'm hearing you say is it doesn't feel like luck, it feels more sustainable.
Yeah, definitely. Which was one of the things when we, had high months in the past. We'd hit, X amount of calls. We had good months in the past, but it was kind of felt a bit like luck, something that we
Mm,
couldn't recreate. But now we're focusing more on instead of external things, focusing on us, our offers, our processes, our systems, which means that it does feel like more of a repeatable process now, which is
yeah.
great. It feels a
That
bit more
makes sense.
comfortable.
That makes sense. So speaking of process, can you tell me a little bit about what that process was? What did your sales look like? What did your offers look like? What did things look like before we started working together?
Yeah, I think like any agency owner, after being in the space for a couple of years, it can be very easy to get complacent on sales calls. I know a lot of friends who get complacent just in terms of the fact where it's like not really following much of a process, winging it a little bit. And just because you've been doing it so long and you have such great knowledge in your expertise, whether it's ad creatives or email marketing or whatever it is, you have such good expertise, you kind of just wing it on sales calls, but that actually really probably bites you in the ass, which I found I wasn't getting the best results. I was just kind of winging it and being natural and being myself. Ever since really started putting in a stricter sales process um, and more focus on my offers, what I actually sold, found better results on sales calls, having a framework to follow, and then also having different offers for different businesses and what their kind of goals are and what problems they're facing. But yeah, I think the one of the biggest focuses, and kind of the biggest differences on our process is we were focusing on our service and our deliverables, which we'll get onto
Mm,
later on and kind of how that's changed. But the biggest thing was, yeah, we were just kind of it is a very kind of competitive niche, and we were fitting in with a lot of people who
sure.
just sell the same thing.
And so just competing on price at that point.
Yeah, compete on price, deliverables, and yeah, just race to the
Yeah.
bottom really.
Who can do the most amount of work for the least amount of invoice?
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Got you. Okay. So then what were some of the main challenges that made you want to join this program specifically? Because there's a lot of other agency programs out there. And so I'm sure you've been through some, you've seen a bunch. And so what were the
Yeah.
problems that you faced that made you go, enterprise clients is specifically where I want to go?
Yeah, I think, hashtag charge more is one of the biggest ones. No, but I've I've got friends who were in here before me that was I was talking to, and they're selling five-figure deals to cold traffic, and that was the first thing. Yeah, friends who've been in this program before me that are doing well, selling five-figure deals to cold traffic was the biggest thing that kind of got my attention because that's kind of not really focused on in the space, and not many people getting results like that, especially with cold traffic. So yeah, that was the biggest thing. Charge more, start reaching a cold audience outside of organic, but like actually being able to convert paid traffic, for example, and just more book calls as well. I know that's a focus, getting more book calls on the calendar and selling more, selling higher price.
There you go. Well, it seems like you've been able to accomplish that fairly quickly, so that's very good. So then I'll ask
Yeah.
you, in the spirit of being able to capitalize on those things, in the spirit of being able to hashtag charge more, as you so eloquently said, how has your process changed, or what's the difference in how you sell your offers now compared to what it was before?
Yeah, I think to be honest, for me to be able to put it in words, like the best thing people can do is actually just go to your workshop, and that'll answer that question
This is
because I've
not a paid
done it.
sponsorship, by the way. I did not tell him to say that. Just so you
No,
know.
no, genuinely, because like going to your workshop will answer that question better than I can answer it in one sentence because I've just done what you've said. But like our process now, we focus on selling, like solving a problem specifically rather than just selling a service. So like before, it was deliverables focused, and we'll do X, Y, and Z in super quick and try and turn your ads around. Now it's we looked at the market and what different people are struggling with and what our clients are struggling with and started trying to solve their problem specifically. And that's been the biggest change. So now we can actually differentiate ourselves by how well we can solve a client's problem rather than just selling a specific deliverable. And I know it sounds like a small change, but like that whole positioning is what has made the difference in us first, competitor.
Yeah, that's super interesting because there are tons and tons of other ad creative agencies out there that make stuff that's significantly cheaper than what it is that you sell. So let me ask you this. Why do you think that clients come to you and choose to pay you 27 grand for something that from maybe their eyes before they work with you, or maybe from even some agency owners' eyes, seems the same as something that maybe someone else is selling for 3K or 5K? Why do people pay you so much more?
Yeah, well, it's the actual the positioning we have in the marketplace. So like what we are selling, and like our processing systems to get those results. So that's kind of the main thing because we're different in that aspect. So what we're actually solving for the client, we're solving a problem. And for example, like solving a problem for a client, they're willing to pay, 10 times more than you'd expect if you can solve that problem rather than just a content agency and getting some ads off Fiverr, for example,
Yeah.
for $100. So like, yeah, it's about solving that problem and, giving confidence that you can actually do it. So yeah, I'd say that. And also putting more emphasis on the sales process itself. So real nice decks and audits after putting more time and focus and kind of aligning everything with my positioning. So the decks, the audits, the case studies, um, kind of it sounds weird, but like your case studies can be manipulated in a way, not lied, but
Yeah.
manipulated in a way that reflects your positioning. Because like you've probably done specific things in each of your case studies that go towards a specific problem. So if you can just focus on those problems and then kind of align everything around that, it just means it's all coherent. So when someone comes to you with that specific issue, you're going to be able to charge what you like, really, because they need you. They think you are the person who's going to be able to
Yeah.
solve this issue.
Yeah, I think really, really well said, man. I think a big piece of this is identifying problems that are necessary to solve in the marketplace that no one else is really solving, or no one else is putting their focus and their positioning on, right? And so, so often people will go, well, the way to differentiate yourself is to focus on a niche, right? We do this for ecom brands, or we do this for dental clinics, or whatever else. But as you're aware, I'm a big believer in niching down by a specific problem and being the best known for that problem and making sure it's a problem that's worth a lot of money when it's solved, right? And I think that you're a perfect example of someone who's really taken that well and excelled at it to be quite straightforward because you're selling it's different deliverables for sure, but it's a different service or it's the same service. I mean, right? You're still selling creative that ultimately is supposed to drive down your cost per acquisition, but the way in which you frame it, the way you position it, and the process in which that you go through in order to achieve that outcome is something that nobody else is doing, which is why when a client, I would imagine, comes across you and you say, hey, it's 27 grand, they go, well, it's more than I was thinking, but you're the only one who's doing this specific thing in this specific way. Therefore, what other options do I have? It's either solve my problem or don't. Has that kind of been your experience as well?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, 100%. So there's so many different routes that, and like for example, there is ad creative options like Fiverr, there's Billow, and these other ones that do solve a specific client's problem. So there will be at the lower end of the market, and that is the problem that they're solving. But if you want the enterprise clients, the clients who'll pay more, you solve the expensive problems in a different way, in a unique way that no one else can do. Yeah, I'd say that is yeah super accurate.
Yeah, that's the point, man. I've always been a big believer in if you can pick one problem to solve, why not solve rich people's problems?
Yeah, exactly,
It's usually about
exactly.
the same amount of work and you get paid significantly more, and they're usually a little easier to deal with. Not always,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
usually.
It probably ends up being less work as well because they're easier to work with.
Yes, that's true. It's funny, every time I talk to somebody, we do one of these interviews, they all say the same thing, which is like, it's actually a little bit easier to work with them than it is how do I
Yeah,
say this nicely? The lower end of the market. That's the politically
yeah.
correct way.
The just put that into practice. The 3 clients that we've onboarded for this 27K deal, we're only kinda in them, a couple weeks in with with 2 of them, but like very minimal comms. They're not too interested in what's going on, just want high level stuff. Um, and super just nice guys. And like not kind of asking and trying to cut corners with us and chasing us. So it is yeah super refreshing. On the other end of the
Yeah.
spectrum, we've got a client who came in. They still last month. This is they asked to split payment. I said yeah. Then they're kind of chasing. They want more. They want extra deliverables. Can you get the creators to do this? It's just completely different side of the spectrum.
Yeah, man. When somebody's willing to pay you significantly more, it inherently means they have far more trust in you, which makes your process significantly easier. It's why, to be fair, like I don't sell cheap stuff because if you're not willing to pony up the dough to like do the full thing, it's just not worth it. I mean, the workshop's cheap, but that's because it's well cheap depending on who you ask, I guess. But it's because it's a group section, right? And so, no, you're totally right. They pay more, they trust you more. They're typically always easier to work with, and it seems like that's been your experience as well.
Yeah, yeah, and they see you as the expert as well,
Yes.
which is the one of the nicest things. Whereas when you're selling cheaper, people just they'll I'll have clients come to us and they'll try and tell us how to make ads, and their ads aren't very good, and they're trying to tell us how to make ads. And then you have these guys who are absolutely crushing, paying top dollar, and they don't try and tell you anything, which is
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a reason why they have way more money, by the way. That is the reason why that they make way more money. So, okay, super cool. So, we're doing great now. That's phenomenal. 6 to 12 months down the road from now. So, let's say it's September of next year, where do you see the agency? Where do you see media engineered going based on all the new processes you put in place?
yeah. I think of course we want to continue scaling, but maintaining quality. I think we could definitely we can see the growth continue. And I think in terms of numbers, where we'd like to be around 250K is a kind of next milestone that we kind of want to hit. I could, if we don't hit that in the next 6 to 12 months, I'd be very disappointed. So I can see that happening in terms of like the general structure of media engineered as well. We definitely in the place where we want to try and focus on the higher paying clients and fill the capacity of our team with better clients. So capacity control is something that we definitely focus on massively, rather than just trying to get clients through the door. Actually, filling up our pods, like so we
Yes.
can actually max out capacity, then expand team rather than just hire, then the team not kind of being full. So yeah, trying capacity control and then also scaling whilst maintaining quality. 250K in
Yeah.
the next 6 to 12 months
There
is
you
our
go.
goal.
Smart scaling is what we'll call that.
Yeah, 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 for
Great.
sure.
Totally doable for you, man. You're in a great position for it. I mean, you closed 3 27K deals in the last 2 weeks, which means you can just do the math on that, give it a month and a half and you're already there, right? Or,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
that's
that.
what I mean. If I'm not there in 6 to 12 months, I've probably done something wrong.
It's alright. We're all good. So, for anybody out there who is an agency owner who sees someone like you or anybody else who's come through some of our programs who they see that it's possible, they want to, as you said, hashtag charge more. They want to do that, but they're nervous about the transition. What would your advice be to them?
Yeah, I think if you my advice would be kind of make the decision which way you want to go. Like definitely make a decision. There's two options of an agency. There's charge higher, less clients, they pay more, or you kind of more clients, charge less. And like that, I have friends who are doing, 150K with 100 clients, for example. That is a route. But if you want to kind of charge more, then you just have to make the decision. Going somewhere in the middle will be where you pull your hair out. I would kind of definitely recommend joining your workshop and basically just doing what you say, even if it's kind of my kind of experience with an agency have always grown from next step to next step is find someone who's better at what I'm trying to achieve and then do exactly what they say. So yeah, finding a mentor, finding someone, a coach or whatever you want to call it, and just do exactly what they say. That would be my advice.
Easy enough. Let me
Yeah.
ask you because you made me think of something interesting there. I agree with you. There's two ways to do an agency right, which is either lots of clients, low ticket, less clients, high ticket. That middle ground is a nightmare, and like that was and you know this, but part of my story is how we built our original agency is we kind of had to make that transition from small to large, and it was very difficult to do that. So what your advice was that people should just make the decision to go one way or the other and stick on that. Let me ask you, why did you make the decision that you wanted to go up market, that you wanted to charge more, you want to go for enterprise clients? Like, what about that made you go, I want this route and not the other?
Yeah. Well, me and my brother, we actually do love marketing and like getting results for our clients. I think everyone does. And when you're charging, less and you're charging 1,500 and whatever with a large group of clients, you can't put the focus that they deserve. You can't actually get as better results. It's kind of like just a churn and burn agency. We want to try and get meaningful relationships with our clients and actually get them results in the ad account and work with better high quality clients in terms of people who aren't trying to call you WhatsApp and people who aren't chasing you up. Um, just like, yeah, better quality clients that we can actually get results for, have long relationships with. And also, it means the higher that we charge, the better team that we can have.
Mm.
So it means that like the environment and the culture is better, you know, less headache for my brother who's running the team, and we can just hire better people to have a better environment, then get better results. I think that kind of is, for me at least, my understanding of the agency. If you do go with the route, kind of charge more, hire better, charge more, hire better. That's kind of the route that I've seen at least.
Yeah. Makes sense, man. Yeah, it allows you for a better team. And like you said, what I really like about what you said is that at the end of the day, you got into this business because you like marketing and you want to get good results for people. I mean, we are in the service business, so our job is to serve. And your decision to charge more has allowed you to serve better, both through the
Yeah.
results that you can get, the clients that you can get, the type of people that you can bring on your team, all those kind of things.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It just the whole charge more. I know it's kind of like the hashtag charge more. It's funny now, but like actually charging more, it does just free you up. Like it just business is more fun when you charge more. You can pay team better. You can pay better, for everything. It just loosens you up a bit, and you can relax more rather than kind of being super tight with margins and having to, um, just hire worse people. And it's just a little bit messy when you go down that
It's
route.
rough. It's a rough one for sure. Ask me how I know, right? It's not
Yeah,
good. So
exactly. Me too.
okay. So as we kind of wrap up here, last question I always like to end with. If there's somebody out there who is considering coming to a workshop, joining our full program, whatever else, somebody's considering it, but they're on the fence. What would you tell them about whether or not it's worth the investment?
Yeah, 100%. I'd definitely recommend it. I mean, I said this to Ryan, my co-founder. I said knowing what I know now, I would have paid double for what we got into Enterprise
Damn.
Client. Like,
Don't tell me that,
hone
man. Don't tell me that. I might have to increase the prices then.
honestly, like, it seems cheap. Like, honestly, I feel guilty. Like, now it's a few months in, and it's like we're still getting this. So yeah, 100% worth the investment. Like, the results 50K to 100K obviously speak for itself. And the actual workshop itself, that is tons of value as well, because that actually just lays out everything that you implement in the program. So yeah, value in the workshop is huge. So definitely recommend that. But for me, I like to actually have better accountability, be in the program, and be able to get questions answered. So
Yeah.
programs are better fitting for me, and yeah, well worth the investment.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate the kind words. Our job is always to, just like you're in the service business, so am I, right? Your job is to give your clients far more value than they pay you for, and mine is too. So if you feel like you were robbing me, then I guess I did my job successfully. So that's good. Well, Adam, I appreciate the time. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to join in one of these workshops that Adam has been so kind to have such good words about, you can go to enterpriseclients.com/workshop. We got one, depending on when you watch this, we got one coming up starting in about 10 days. But after that, we do them every so on and so often. So who knows? All right, Adam. Thanks again. And see you, everybody. Peace.